We're live, we're back. Hey, I want to chat today about word of mouth, referral business. I think that most of us, being you and most of our business historically comes from word of mouth. You have to create a lot of content to flip that to being all cold, unknown inbounds. A lot of content. And it takes a long time to get there. And I'm not there. You're probably not there. And that's fine. But for coaches, consultants, freelancers, startups, I think this being our number one source of business, it should always be a focus. And unfortunately, since we know the people who are referring outside people, cold people, to us, it's easy to take for granted how comfortable that communication can be. And I think that's doing a bit of a disservice. At least that's what I've realized in my business. And it took me 4 years to figure this out. I really only started to polish this last summer, about 10 months ago, when I kind of got sick of writing the same reply email. And I was halfway through a reply email to a referral, and I was like, I feel like I've typed this so many times. And I use an app on my Mac called Text Expander with a keyboard shortcut. You can just put in any piece of copy or text that I have saved in that database. It's super efficient and it's a massive time saver. But I was typing this email again for the, 100th time, 80th time. It's hard to ballpark that. And I realized that there's a pattern and that I don't need to be typing this email yet again. It's right to personalize it because the relationship with whoever is doing the referring is different. But I realize it's actually pretty critical to have a strategy, not just for managing those replies or having a great reply. I'll get to that in a second. But really thinking holistically about word of mouth marketing, which is usually reserved for like products IRL, like physical retail products. They do word of mouth marketing and guerrilla marketing and different names for pretty similar strategies for people on the street interacting with other real people. Not that people in our digital and online communities aren't real. They absolutely are. It's really thinking systematically about having a system. And once I mapped that out, and I put it in, you could type it out in a Google Doc or a Word doc. I put it in a whiteboard. I would share it, but it's not terribly interesting. It's like 3 parts. It's not a difficult thing to do. And I think when I get through here, you'll probably already have a complete vision for yours. You might not even need to type it out. I found it helpful because I'm super visual. Anyway, I want to say that the template system needs to be the product of a strategy, right? So start, and I did this last, and I wish I had done it first. Start by listing out all the communities that you're in. The online forums, the Facebook groups, the social feeds, the online communities, and local communities. Just list them out and then take note of why you're in each one. There should be a pattern there. You should be in a lot of these for the same reason. And it can't be something simple like get leads. Like the value exchange in each one may be different, but the reason why you're there is for growth, for connection, to learn, to share. Whatever it is. And I'm in many communities for different reasons. But at a high level, I do have a want. Like I do have something that I'd like people who start to value my contributions to the community. I have something I want them to do. And it's usually go look at my profile. They can learn more about me, find important links, and connect with me. Because I really just care about valuable connections and expanding my network with meaningful engagements, right? So yours might just be, I want sales. I want someone to click and buy. And that's fine. Just make sure this is happening outside of being in a community for being honestly helpful. Duh. So having a strategic goal is great for informing. I want to say this, for informing not just what you share but how you share it. There's a tonality to it. So as long as I'm thinking about it, I'm usually very consistent with the tonality, with whether it's in a Facebook group and sharing a technical tip with someone. When I do that, I get a message like later that day from Facebook, like 30 people viewed your profile. That doesn't happen on a day when 3 people view the profile. So it matters that you're sharing. It creates visibility. And it happens in Slack. It happens in circle communities. It happens in school. It happens SKOOL. So that clarity creates consistency across all those channels. And the reason why I bring that up is it also informs my template. I have a form template. When someone's like, hey, I want to introduce you to so-and-so. I think they could use your help. Great, thank you, amazing. That's not templatized. That's just an honest, hey, thanks, amazing, appreciate it. But once they send the email introduction, hey, Wayne, this is so-and-so. They do this and that. Hey, so-and-so, Wayne is awesome at all this stuff. That's amazing. And that reply is very simple. Hey, thanks, great to meet you. It's very vague. Yes, it's a template. Sometimes I put it in, sometimes I don't because it's so short. But my reply to the person I've been introduced to is absolutely a template. And that saves a lot of time. It also makes sure that I'm sharing a consistent message about what it is that I do. Because even though they're referrals, some of those leads aren't always great. They're not always targeted. Right? So if it's like, hey, I was hoping somebody could help me with some Ruby on Rails coding for my app. Not a good referral for somebody who makes Squarespace websites. So I want to say, hey, I've helped so many businesses with Squarespace and I've got these programs and I can't wait to have a chat with you. They can self-select and say, oh, actually, I think we're a poor fit. And then I don't lose time on a call meeting someone that could be a valuable relationship, but also I don't want to waste their time telling me about their business. So at the end of the call, I can say, you know what, I don't think this is a fit. That's not what we do. So I want to be cautious about wasting people's time and my time. So the first thing I did when I started this out was to search my inbox. So search your email and find all of the referral replies and look for the patterns. What have we shared? What have I shared over and over again? What things were a little too personal or specific to the person being referred and their business, and then took those out, and then just you'll have a really solid template just by looking at the things that you've said in the past. And I know you could just type the template up. I could too. But the reason I ran that search is I wanted to see, I know what I've said has changed over the years, and I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything. I'm being thorough in what it is I really do want to share. And looking back on it, absolutely informed my template. So it was a valuable exercise. And also, what's the system for getting them into the CRM? Like once I reply and they reply back, okay, let's book a time, and I send my booking link, which is in the template email, but not everybody clicks it. It's like a reminder, hey, click this link to book that discovery call. Then that puts them into the CRM. It's an important link to have in there because otherwise I wouldn't add them manually because there's too many things going on. I got to stop what I'm doing. It not only is there a break in workflow, they haven't actually requested to be on my email list or in the CRM. That's a little gray and a little fuzzy. So I want to be cautious about putting someone in the CRM that didn't take an action on their own part. Like, you know, when you give me your email address, when you're booking a call, it says like Honeybook at the bottom. And I might not always be using Honeybook for that. Right now, it's great for it. they know, okay, you're going into a list here, and they've made that choice, like, or taken that risk on their own. So I think that the last thing I would check is the timing. Note the timing of your responses and their responses. If it's really long, and that was the case with me. If it's really short, this may not matter. But if it takes someone a week consistently to reply to that email, either we're not asking for the business, we're not being direct enough in our reply email, that is the template, or there's something else going on. So it may be industry specifics. It may not be us. It might not be you. Have another email in between that sort of is a reminder, and make it a question. Like, what's your biggest challenge when it comes to ABC? That curiosity, that real simple curiosity message keeps them engaged. It reminds them they're still there. They're still like, oh crap, I did mean to book a call with that guy. So that's a really easy way to keep them engaged and keep them warm, even though time has passed. So when they're in Outlook and they're, 10,000 or 11,000 emails behind, it's a good way to stay top of mind and stay up in their inbox without just hitting bump or something like that. You can reply to the exact message, but that takes time. Once they're in your CRM, if you've added them, then you can create an automated email that does it. And then they'll reply to the automated email. And once again, you have the opportunity to send them another template that says, just book this discovery call. Grab a time that works for you. Let's have a chat about your challenge. So once I started doing that, not only was it a big time saver when it comes to writing these emails, it also has increased my close rate of referrals. Before, I would spend time on calls that I didn't need to spend time on, that they didn't need to spend time on. Not always. Also, try to be clear with the referrer. But the other one would be, once I started doing that more consistently, I wound up with more productive calls. So like the automated email, that is the question. All of a sudden we get on there, we're talking about their response to that. We're already having a conversation that is fairly meaty. And hopefully, very, very rarely do I have to like type out an entire email, so that this is as minimal a disruption to the workflow as possible for both me and the person being referred. So anyway, word of mouth is critical. I've built a business on it, and it still to this day is my number one source of new customers. So being a member of these communities, being a member of all these forums and groups and even local ones, has definitely been beneficial for the business. How I manage it, and really being intentional about that, how I manage those replies and responses and what people think and say about me based on what I contribute, all of that stuff has grown the business in a meaningful way. So don't sleep on it. I would say have a referral strategy of your own. Maybe, hopefully this inspired you to create one, or create some automation. Even one automation in here can be a major time saver, so go for it. Anyway, happy Friday. It's May 30th. It's going to be June when I come back on Monday. It is. It's going to be the 2nd. I can't believe we're halfway through the year. This is nuts. This is nuts. So, I could do a thumbnail moment. Should I do a thumbnail moment? Let's do a thumbnail moment. I don't know if you can tell. I don't feel that great today. My energy is not there. It's not good. And I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's just tired. Maybe it's just tummy. Terrible. But you show up and you do the work anyway, right? That's what we do. So anyway, thanks for watching. I can't believe you sat through 14 minutes of this. You're amazing. Appreciate you. Like and subscribe. Follow if you want updates. And I will see you back here Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern. Same channel. We're still going to be plugging away here. And if you have questions about you want to see my templates or something like that, I can share those with you. Just ping me, all right? All right, peace.